Ever notice how people get strange around calm, self-assured folks rather than Shiites who want they could? But those composed, self-assured people who just decide when and how much to say people spend more time making up tales about silent people than they do attempting to comprehend them, according to research. These reserved people, especially Sigma men, become into blank canvases upon whom others pour their own anxieties, misunderstandings and insecurities. It occurs in social gatherings, workplaces, and even family get-togethers. Someone is observing more than speaking while staying to themselves, and all of a sudden the irony is that while others are busy coming up with complex justifications for their silence, he must be antisocial and likely believe he is superior than everyone else. Since everyone is an amateur psychologist, speculations about him are abound. These quiet watchers often don't care about the commotion around them and simply go about their lives as they see fit. Let's examine 7 of the most bizarre presumptions individuals have regarding quiet Sigma males. Some of them may seem familiar since you've heard them say them or have heard them say them about you. In any case, the reality about these presumptions may surprise you. First of all, they believe they're superior to others. It's an odd jump of reasoning. People suddenly believe they are sitting on some unseen throne of superiority when someone who stays to themselves observes more than they say. This may be the most prevalent and incorrect belief about quiet Sigma guys. It occurs daily at social gatherings, workplaces, and even informal group settings. The natural calm observational mood of a Sigma man is misconstrued as demeaning others. His selective participation is seen as cherry-picking who deserves his attention, and his at-ease quiet is viewed as silent condemnation. According to social psychology, when someone is at ease enough to remain silent in social settings, others often interpret it as judgment. The majority of Sigma males don't waste energy ranking themselves against others. Their quietness isn't about feeling superior, but rather about being comfortable enough with themselves that they don't need constant social validation. In fact, studies show that people who are truly judgmental tend to be more vocal about it rather than less. Most quiet ones are too busy being comfortable with themselves to waste energy judging others. The difference between someone who loves surfing and someone who likes deep diving is that they both function at various depths, yet for some reason, a Sigma's choice for depth is misconstrued as arrogance. Ironically, this presumption frequently speaks more about the people who made it than the Sigma male himself, because sometimes the most critical individuals are the ones who find it impossible to accept that someone is different without being superior. Number 2. They are also concealing something. People enjoy a good mystery, but occasionally they fabricate one when none exists when someone isn't an open book. The papers must be full of sinister secrets, according to some. When everyone is oversharing, keeping things private almost feels suspicious. A Sigma's decision to keep some aspects of his life private is frequently exaggerated into wild theories about what he must be hiding. This reaction to Sigma males' natural privacy reveals something interesting about human nature. The more private someone is, the more people tend to come up with dramatic explanations for that private privacy. The fact that some individuals just choose to spend their lives alone seems to be incomprehensible to our minds, even yet the truth is considerably more straightforward. In a world where everyone is expected to share their daily lives, the natural desire for privacy is often misunderstood. Sigma males aren't hiding deep secrets or fleeing from dark pasts. Rather, they understand that not everything needs to be shared, discussed, or put on display. In this way, having curtains on your windows doesn't mean you're hiding anything in your home. Rather, it's about boundaries. The truth is that sometimes the people who share the least actually have the most inner peace. They just don't feel the need to prove it to anyone. 3. They must be socially awkward. One of the biggest misconceptions people have is that someone who chooses when to engage must not know how to engage at all. If you observe a Sigma male in a variety of settings, you'll notice something pretty interesting. Put him in a business meeting where ideas are important, and he will speak with perfect clarity. Put him in a situation that calls for leadership, and he will step up without hesitation. Give him a reason to engage that is consistent with his values, and all of a sudden, that socially awkward person becomes surprisingly articulate. The truth about social skills is more complex than most people believe. Being the talkative person or the life of the party isn't what true social competence is all about. It's about understanding how to communicate successfully when it counts. Think of it like this. Sigma males frequently excel at targeted social engagement. Just like a professional athlete who doesn't play pickup games, they're not bad at it, they're just selective about when and how they use their energy. Similarly, Sigma males frequently have strong social skills, they just use them strategically rather than continuously. This selective engagement is frequently misinterpreted as awkwardness by people who think being social means being on all the time, but there's nothing wrong with picking your moments. In contrast to people who feel obliged to fill every void, it often demonstrates a greater awareness of social dynamics. Here's the thing. Don't confuse choice for incapacity. In fact, often the most socially adept individuals are the ones who don't feel the need to continuously prove themselves. There's something wrong with them. The speed with which people draw inferences about those who don't conform to the typical standard of incessant conversation and social performance is astounding. Others often believe they must be defective in some manner, such as a silent engine must have issues just because it isn't producing noise today. Feeling at ease in silence is somehow categorized as a problem that has to be fixed. Family members. Stage interventions. Friends provide inconsiderate counsel. Coworkers recommend treatment because someone thinks about life differently than the loud majority. The human mind is capable of many fascinating tricks, and when we see someone acting differently than we would anticipate, we often conclude that something must have harmed them. Poor upbringing, prior trauma, and depression. The truth is that Sigma males frequently have a better understanding of themselves than those attempting to correct them. They have discovered their balance and manner of moving through the world. Just because something appears different on the outside doesn't mean something is wrong on the inside. These labels are carelessly applied simply because someone chooses peace over chaos. The self-contained character of a Sigma man is a quality rather than a flaw, much as a cat's independence doesn't imply it's broken, it's just being a cat. The truth is that people frequently confuse being different with being harmful, but sometimes being yourself is the healthiest thing you can be, even if others don't understand it. Number 5, they can't be that smart. This is one of the strangest presumptions in the world. That intelligent people must constantly demonstrate their intelligence by talking over others, while those who listen and observe must lack mental capacity. This misconception typically occurs in group settings when the loud ones are dominating conversations and giving quick answers, and the quiet observer is dismissed as slow or ignorant, and some even take pride in outsmarting. Modern workplaces make this preconception much worse. In a world of open workspaces and continuous brainstorming, those who assimilate information inwardly are often branded as less competent than their more talkative competitors. The silent one is unaware that they are frequently being studied rather than stunned. Individuals who think deeply about an issue are typically ignored, and those who ponder aloud are often disregarded. However, intelligent individuals are aware of something that others sometimes overlook. Intelligence is shown in outcomes rather than in running commentary, while others are preoccupied with demonstrating their intellect. Sigma guys often solve issues in silence, devise plans of action, or observe other people's perspectives. This is when things become very fascinating. Sometimes the smartest person in the room is the one who doesn't feel the need to prove it because true capability shows in actions rather than announcements. Number 6. The most successful problem solvers often process information quietly before speaking. They're thorough, not stuck or slow, and they're thinking several steps ahead. The truth is that real intelligence doesn't need a spotlight. When people see someone who naturally follows a different path, they frequently assume it must be an act because everyone secretly wants to fit in. This assumption stems from a deep psychological need to believe that everyone secretly wants to be like everyone else. However, when faced with a Sigma male who genuinely prefers his own way, many people's brains short-circuit, convincing themselves it must be an attention-seeking tactic or a carefully crafted persona. What these observers miss: people would select simpler methods if they were just aiming to stand out, but being different requires more effort than fitting in. Strong and flamboyant views. Behavior that is clear. The Sigma male's subdued defiance of societal conventions actually garners more criticism than praise. When someone naturally follows their own path, others will respond by saying things like, "He's just doing it to be unique," or "He's trying too hard to be mysterious." These remarks tell more about the people's urge to fit in than they do about the person they're criticizing. The truth is that some people are simply built. It's not an act or a choice, it's their natural state of being. Those who have never allowed themselves to be truly genuine are frequently the most suspicious of this authenticity because, even when you're not trying to be radical at all, being yourself can sometimes be the most radical act of all. People often mistake inner control for a lack of emotion if someone doesn't openly show their feelings, and for Sigma males, this may be the most misunderstood aspect of their nature. Think about deep water. On the surface, it appears calm and still, but beneath that stillness, there is a whole world of activity and life. People who seem to be the most controlled typically experience emotions just as intelligently as others, according to new research on emotional intelligence. They simply process them differently. Rather than reacting right away, they usually watch, evaluate, and comprehend their feelings before expressing them. When individuals desire huge gestures to convey their feelings, they make the error of expecting them to appear a specific way. Spectacular shows continuous verbal affirmation. They tend to assume that others are cold or emotionally unavailable when they don't get these performances, although this is really what's going on. Sigma guys often have strong emotions, but they choose carefully how and with whom to express them. The true indicator is how they appear when it counts, when genuine connection matters, and when real support is required. Not every emotion needs an audience or external affirmation. These ostensibly chilly people often exhibit the most significant and consistent manifestations of emotional presence because genuine expressiveness, when it matters most, is what real emotional depth is all about. If this video spoke to you, think about subscribers who want to see more about Sigma men and similar subjects may subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep going strong and keep improving. Don't forget to press the like button and share your opinions in the comments section below.